Tantor Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents Cryptocurrency Investing for Dummies by Kiana Danial, narrated by Wendy Tremont King. Publisher's note: this audiobook refers to tables and figures included in the print and ebook editions of the book. Limit of liability, disclaimer of warranty. While the publisher and author have used their best efforts in preparing this book, they make no representations or warranties with respect to the accuracy or completeness of the contents of this book, and specifically disclaim any implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. No warranty may be created or extended by sales representatives or written sales materials. The advice and strategies contained herein may not be suitable for your situation. You should consult with a professional where appropriate. Neither the publisher nor the author shall be liable for damages arising herefrom. Introduction. More than 2,000 cryptocurrencies currently exist at the time of writing. Cryptos gained a lot of mainstream hype in 2017, when Bitcoin's value increased 1,318%. This surge was nothing compared to the gains of some other digital assets, such as Ripple, which went up, hold your breath, a whopping 36,018%. These returns are more than what a stock investor could normally make in a lifetime, and they generated enough interest to create a true frenzy. However, the bubble burst at the beginning of 2018, leaving many late investors who bought cryptocurrencies at a very high price at a loss. That was enough for some newbie investors to label the whole industry a scam and either give up on investing altogether or go back to traditional financial assets like stocks. Regardless, the cryptocurrency market continued evolving, became more stable, and caught the attention and support of many major financial institutions globally and in the United States. As more people get their hands on cryptocurrencies, more sellers feel comfortable accepting them as a payment method, and that's how the whole industry can flourish. The foundation of cryptocurrencies, such as Bitcoin, lies in a new technology called the blockchain. It's the infrastructure that cryptocurrencies are built on. Blockchain is a disruptive technology that many argue is bigger than the advent of the Internet. The applications of blockchain don't end with cryptocurrencies, though. Just like the applications of the Internet don't end with email. The unique thing about cryptocurrency investing and trading is that a crypto is a cross between an asset like stocks and a currency like the US dollar. Analyzing the fundamentals behind a cryptocurrency is very different from analyzing any other financial asset. The traditional ways of measuring value don't work in the crypto industry, mainly because in many cases, the crypto data isn't stored in a central hub somewhere. In fact, most cryptocurrencies and their underlying blockchain are decentralized, which means no central authority is in charge. Instead, the power is distributed among the members of any given blockchain or crypto community. About this book. You may have heard of some of the famous cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, but the industry doesn't end there, far from it. And although the crypto market has a ton of volatility, it also has potential for you to make real money by investing wisely and developing strategies that suit your personal risk tolerance. In this book, I tap into the risks involved in cryptocurrency investing and show you the different methods you can use to get involved. The topic of cryptocurrencies and their underlying blockchain technology can be a bit confusing. That's why I try my best to keep cryptocurrency investing for dummies easily accessible and relatable, and free of intimidating terminology. But it does contain some serious information about strategy development, risk management, and the whole industry in general. This book contains a lot of web addresses to get you additional information about certain topics. Some of the web addresses are affiliate links, meaning that if you click them and start using a company's services through that specific web address, I may earn an affiliate payment for making the introduction. You also may note that some web addresses break across 2 lines of text. If you're reading this book in print and want to visit one of these web pages, simply key in the web address exactly as it's noted in the text, pretending as though the line break doesn't exist. If you're reading this work as an e-book, you've got it easy. Just click the web address to be taken directly to the web page. Foolish assumptions. I've made some assumptions about you and your basic knowledge of investing and the cryptocurrency market. You may have heard of, or even own some cryptocurrencies, but you don't really know how they work. Though you may have invested in other markets like the stock market before, you aren't necessarily familiar with the terminology and the technical aspects of trading and investing cryptocurrencies. You know how to operate a computer and use the internet. If you don't have high-speed access to the internet now, be sure you have it before trying to get involved in the cryptocurrency market. You need high-speed access to be able to work with many of the valuable online tools I recommend in this book. Icons used in this book. For Dummies books use little pictures called icons to mark certain chunks of text. You will hear them verbalized in this audio edition. Here's what they actually mean. Remember, if something is particularly important for you to take away from this book, I mark it with this icon. Tip: watch for these little flags to get ideas on how to improve your crypto investing skills or where to find other useful resources. Warning: the cryptocurrency market and investing in general have many risks. Some mistakes can cost you a ton of money. So I use this icon to point out particularly dangerous areas. Technical stuff. This icon designates some interesting facts and sometimes funny anecdotes that I feel you may enjoy reading but that aren't essential to your crypto investing journey. Beyond the book. In addition to the material you're reading right now, this product also comes with some Access Anywhere goodies on the web. When you just want a quick reminder of basics, like what you need before you invest and how to check crypto fundamentals, check out the free cheat sheet at dummies.com. Just search for Cryptocurrency Investing for Dummies cheat sheet. Where to go from here? Cryptocurrency Investing for Dummies isn't your typical book, where you start from the beginning and read through the end. Depending on your interests, knowledge on the matter, and investment goals, you can start anywhere you want. For example, if you're already familiar with cryptocurrency basics and know how they work, where to buy them, and where to securely store them, you may want to start with Part 4, to explore different investment and trading tactics. Chapter 22 gives you an overview of things to consider before you start your cryptocurrency journey and cross-references to other chapters if you need further information. Chapter 3 is a great and essential place to explore methods of risk management before pulling the trigger and jumping on the crypto wagon. If you're looking for alternative ways to get involved in the cryptocurrency market, check out Chapter 12 for crypto mining, Chapter 11 for initial coin offerings, ICOs, and Chapter 14 for crypto futures and options. 1. Getting started with cryptocurrency investing. In this part, know what you're getting into before buying, investing, or trading cryptocurrencies. Understand the risks involved in the cryptocurrency market and how to manage them. Discover how the underlying technology behind cryptocurrencies, the blockchain, makes them unique and revolutionary. Familiarize yourself with how different types of cryptocurrencies operate. Chapter 1. What is a cryptocurrency? In this chapter, looking at the what, why, and how of the advent of cryptocurrencies, getting an overview of your first steps before starting your crypto journey. So, you've picked up this book, and your first question is probably this: what the heck is a cryptocurrency anyway? Simply stated, a cryptocurrency is a new form of digital money. You can transfer your traditional non-cryptocurrency money like the US dollar digitally, but that's not quite the same as how cryptocurrencies work. When cryptocurrencies become mainstream, you may be able to use them to pay for stuff electronically, just like you do with traditional currencies. However, what sets cryptocurrencies apart is the technology behind them. You may say, "Who cares about the technology behind my money? I only care about how much of it there is in my wallet." The issue is that the world's current money systems have a bunch of problems. Here are some examples. Payment systems, such as credit cards and wire transfers, are outdated. In most cases, a bunch of middlemen like banks and brokers take a cut in the process, making transactions expensive and slow. Financial inequality is growing around the globe. Around 3 billion unbanked or underbanked people can't access financial services. That's approximately half the population on the planet. Cryptocurrencies aim to solve some of these problems, if not more. This chapter introduces you to crypto fundamentals. Beginning with the basics of cryptocurrencies. You know how your everyday government-based currency is reserved in banks, and that you need an ATM or a connection to a bank to get more of it or transfer it to other people? Well, with cryptocurrencies, you may be able to get rid of banks and other centralized middlemen altogether. That's because cryptocurrencies rely on a technology called blockchain, which is decentralized, meaning no single entity is in charge of it. Instead, every computer in the network confirms the transactions. Skip to Chapter 4 to find out more about the blockchain technology that enables cool things like cryptocurrencies. In the following sections, I go over the basics of cryptocurrencies, their background, benefits, and more. The definition of money. Before getting into the nitty-gritty of cryptocurrencies, you need to understand the definition of money itself. The philosophy behind money is a bit like the whole which came first, the chicken or the egg thing. In order for money to be valuable, it must have a number of characteristics, such as the following. Enough people must have it. Merchants must accept it as a form of payment. Society must trust that it's valuable, and that it will remain valuable in the future. Of course, in the old days, when you traded your chicken for shoes, the values of the exchanged materials were inherent in their nature. But when coins, cash, and credit cards came into play, the definition of money, and more importantly, the trust model of money, changed. Another key change in money has been its ease of transaction. The hassle of carrying a ton of gold bars from one country to another was one of the main reasons cash was invented. Then, when people got even lazier, credit cards were invented. But credit cards carry the money that your government controls. As the world becomes more interconnected and more concerned about authorities who may or may not have people's best interests in mind, cryptocurrencies may offer a valuable alternative. Here's a fun fact. Your normal government-backed currency, such as the US dollar, must go by its fancy name, fiat currency, now that cryptocurrencies are around. Fiat is described as a legal tender like coins and banknotes that have value only because the government says so. Get the scoop on fiat currencies in Chapter 15. Some cryptocurrency history. The first ever cryptocurrency was, drumroll please, Bitcoin. You probably have heard of Bitcoin more than any other thing in the crypto industry. Bitcoin was the first product of the first blockchain, developed by some anonymous entity who went by the name Satoshi Nakamoto. Satoshi released the idea of Bitcoin in 2008 and described it as a purely peer-to-peer version of electronic money. Technical stuff. Bitcoin was the first established cryptocurrency, but many attempts at creating digital currencies occurred years before Bitcoin was formally introduced. Cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin are created through a process called mining. Very different than mining ore. Mining cryptocurrencies involves powerful computers solving complicated problems. Skip to Chapter 12 for more on mining. Bitcoin remained the only cryptocurrency until 2011. Then, Bitcoin enthusiasts started noticing flaws in it, so they decided to create alternative coins, also known as altcoins, to improve Bitcoin's design for things like speed, security, anonymity, and more. Among the first altcoins was Litecoin, which aimed to become the silver to Bitcoin's gold. But as of the time of writing, over 1,600 cryptocurrencies are available, and the number is expected to increase in the future. Check out Chapter 8 for just a sampling of cryptocurrencies available now. Key crypto benefits. Still not convinced that cryptocurrencies or any other sort of decentralized money are a better solution than traditional government-based money? Here are a number of solutions that cryptocurrencies may be able to provide through their decentralized nature. Reducing corruption. With great power comes great responsibility. But when you give a ton of power to only one person or entity, the chances of their abusing that power increase. The 19th century British politician Lord Acton said it best. Power tends to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Cryptocurrencies aim to resolve the issue of absolute power by distributing power among many people, or better yet, among all the members of the network. That's the key idea behind blockchain technology. See Chapter 4 anyway. Eliminating extreme money printing. Governments have central banks, and central banks have the ability to simply print money when they're faced with a serious economic problem. This process is also called quantitative easing. By printing more money, a government may be able to bail out debt or devalue its currency. However, this approach is like putting a bandage on a broken leg. Not only does it rarely solve the problem, but the negative side effects also can sometimes surpass the original issue. For example, when a country like Iran or Venezuela prints too much money, the value of its currency drops so much that inflation skyrockets, and people can't even afford to buy everyday goods and services. Their cash becomes barely as valuable as rolls of toilet paper. Most cryptocurrencies have a limited set amount of coins available. When all those coins are in circulation, a central entity, or the company behind the blockchain, has no easy way to simply create more coins or add on to its supply. Giving people charge of their own money. With traditional cash, you're basically giving away all your control to central banks and the government. If you trust your government, that's great. But keep in mind that at any point, your government is able to simply freeze your bank account and deny your access to your funds. For example, in the United States, if you don't have a legal will and own a business, the government has the right to all your assets if you pass away. Some governments can even simply abolish banknotes the way India did in 2016. With cryptocurrencies, you and only you can access your funds. Unless someone steals them from you, that is. To find out how to secure your crypto assets, skip to Chapter 7. Cutting out the middleman. With traditional money, every time you make a transfer, a middleman, like your bank or a digital payment service, takes a cut. With cryptocurrencies, all the network members in the blockchain are that middleman. Their compensation is formulated differently from that of fiat money middlemen's, and therefore is minimal in comparison. Skip to Chapter 5 for more on how cryptocurrencies work. Serving the unbanked. A vast portion of the world's citizens has no access or limited access to payment systems like banks. Cryptocurrencies aim to resolve this issue by spreading digital commerce around the globe so that anyone with a mobile phone can start making payments. And yes, more people have access to mobile phones than to banks. In fact, more people have mobile phones than have toilets. But at this point, the blockchain technology may not be able to resolve the latter issue. Skip to Chapter 2 for more on the social good that can come from cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology. Common crypto and blockchain myths. During the 2017 Bitcoin hype, a lot of misconceptions about the whole industry started to circulate. These myths may have played a role in the cryptocurrency crash that followed the surge. The important thing to remember is that both the blockchain technology and its byproduct, the cryptocurrency market, are still in their infancy, and things are rapidly changing. Let me get some of the most common misunderstandings out of the way. Cryptocurrencies are good only for criminals. Some cryptocurrencies boast anonymity as one of their key features. That means your identity isn't revealed when you're making transactions. Other cryptocurrencies are based on a decentralized blockchain, meaning a central government isn't the sole power behind them. These features do make such cryptocurrencies attractive for criminals. However, law-abiding citizens in corrupt countries can also benefit from them. For example, if you don't trust your local bank or country, because of corruption and political instability, the best way to store your money may be through the blockchain and cryptocurrency assets. You can make anonymous transactions using all cryptocurrencies. For some reason, many people equate Bitcoin with anonymity, but Bitcoin, along with many other cryptocurrencies, doesn't incorporate anonymity at all. All transactions made using such cryptocurrencies are made on public blockchain. Some cryptocurrencies, such as Monero, do prioritize privacy, meaning no outsider can find the source, amount, or destination of transactions. However, most other cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, don't operate that way. The only application of blockchain is Bitcoin. This idea couldn't be further from the truth. Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are a tiny byproduct of the blockchain revolution. Many believe Satoshi created Bitcoin simply to provide an example of how the blockchain technology can work. As I explore in Chapter 4, almost every industry and business in the world can use the blockchain technology in its specific field. All blockchain activity is private. Many people falsely believe that the blockchain technology isn't open to the public and is accessible only to its network of common users. Although some companies create their own private blockchains to be used only among employees and business partners, the majority of the blockchains behind famous cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin are accessible by the public. Literally anyone with a computer can access the transactions in real time. For example, you can view the real-time Bitcoin transactions at blockchain.com. Risks. Just like anything else in life, cryptocurrencies come with their own baggage of risk. Whether you trade cryptos, invest in them, or simply hold on to them for the future, you must assess and understand the risks beforehand. Some of the most talked about cryptocurrency risks include their volatility and lack of regulation. Volatility got especially out of hand in 2017, when the price of most major cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, skyrocketed above 1,000%, and then came crashing down. However, as the cryptocurrency hype has calmed down, the price fluctuations have become more predictable and followed similar patterns of stocks and other financial assets. Regulations are another major topic in the industry. The funny thing is that both lack of regulation and exposure to regulations can turn into risk events for cryptocurrency investors. I explore these and other types of risks, as well as methods of managing them, in Chapter 3. Gearing up to make transactions. Cryptocurrencies are here to make transactions easier and faster. But before you take advantage of these benefits, you must gear up with crypto gadgets. Discover where you can get your hands on different cryptocurrencies, and get to know the cryptocurrency community. Some of the essentials include cryptocurrency wallets and exchanges. Wallets. Some cryptocurrency wallets, which hold your purchased cryptos, are similar to digital payment services like Apple Pay and PayPal. But generally, they're different from traditional wallets and come in different formats and levels of security. Remember, you can't get involved in the cryptocurrency market without a crypto wallet. I recommend that you get the most secure type of wallet, such as hardware or paper wallets, instead of using the convenient online ones. Skip to Chapter 7 to explore how these wallets work and how you can get them. Exchanges. After you get yourself a crypto wallet, you're ready to go crypto shopping. And one of the best destinations is a cryptocurrency exchange. These online web services are where you can transfer your traditional money to buy cryptocurrencies, exchange different types of cryptocurrencies, or even store your cryptocurrencies. Warning: storing your cryptocurrencies on an exchange is considered high risk, because many such exchanges have been exposed to hacking attacks and scams in the past. When you're done with your transactions, your best bet is to move your new digital assets to your personal secure wallet. Exchanges come in different shapes and forms. Some are like traditional stock exchanges and act as a middleman. Something crypto enthusiasts believe is a slap in the face of the cryptocurrency market, which is trying to remove a centralized middleman. Others are decentralized and provide a service where...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?